Back to action we go here as we get an update on what happened that past inning. They called a batter's interference on Cole Andrews, and it was kind of a weird play because he never stepped out of the batter's box and didn't look like he was interfering at all. So a lot of people missed that play. But that's why Jordan Stevens' steal was negated, and Andrews was called out, and it really just kind of put a damper on the inning after the leadoff single there from Jordan Stevens. But we're going to get back to action here in the top of the third inning as Spencer Mraz fires in a ball there. At bat for the Cardinals is Ross Messina. After the inning was ended on Cal Alvar's throwouts. Second base. The 1-0 pitch is fouled away to even up the count at 1-1. Messina coming from Kansas City, Missouri, and Seminole State College down in Florida. That one is laced in between the third baseman Stevens and Will Vogelsang for a single. For a leadoff single there for the Cardinals, and that's going to bring up another batter for Ball State, John Ricotta.
First baseman John Ricotta.
4-0 lead for Ball State here in the top of the third inning. John Ricotta batting .292 on the season. Takes the first pitch, and he's going to get hit right at the numbers in the back. And he's going to take a base there. Spencer Mraz lost that pitch. Ball State back in business once again, threatening with a runner in scoring position with no outs. That's going to bring up William Baker, the senior from Kansas City. He flied out his first time up. .127 at-bats. He's got 40 hits, 18 RBIs, looking to add to that total with a runner in scoring position. For Ball State, the first pitch, he lays down a bunt down the first base line. This is going to move the runners over, and he's going to get caught there on the first base line halfway through. And they try to tag him, but they don't call him out, so they just throw down the first, and that's going to move the runners over, but it's going to surrender it out for Ball State. So runners on first or second and third now for Ball State with one out here at the top of the third inning. It's going to bring up William Baker, the left fielder, batting .315 on the season with 18 RBIs, 1 homer, and 10 runs. He's 0 for 1 so far with a flyout. First pitch from Mraz is popped up into deep left field, tagging and coming home and cut off. And that's going to bring another run in for the Cardinals. Scoring there for Ball State is Ross Messina as he comes home on the tag up, and it's a 5-0 lead now for Ball State here in the top of the third inning. So that's going to bring up Chase Sebi, the senior catcher. He's 1 for 1 so far this afternoon with a triple and 1 run. Runner now only on second base now for Ball State in scoring position with 2 outs. Mraz trying to get out of the inning once again with only 1 run surrendered. First pitch is taken for a ball there by Sebi inside. 83 mile an hour on the gun. Doesn't look like there's any action over there in the bullpen for Miami, so Spencer Mraz is going to have to get through a couple more innings here, as he has not looked himself so far in this ball game. 1-0 pitch. Called for a ball. Good eye there by Chase Sebi. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Misses inside to bring the count to 2 balls, no strikes with 2 outs. John Ricotta standing over there on second base. This one's laced up the middle, fielded there by Will Vogelsang. He fires over to first base, and he gets him there. Great play there by Will Vogelsang. He bounced it over there. A nice fielding play there by Norberg to end the inning as Will Vogelsang throws out Chase Sebi to end the inning. But not before Ball State adds another run to their run total. 5-0 here as they lead the Red Hawks at home. You listen to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back after this short break.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Bottom of the third inning now with Miami trailing Ball State 5-0. Kenny Schierlinger for Red Hawk Radio with you here for this game 1 of this doubleheader on Easter Sunday. Stepping into the batter's box for the Red Hawks. It's going to be number 27, Parker Massman, who's getting the start at center field, a sophomore. He takes the first pitch from Baker. That's a slider that sneaks in there over the plate. Be called for a strike. Maspin stepping in for Christian Tejada, who made a big error yesterday in the continuation of game 1 that ended up being the start of a big inning for Ball State as they scored 3, and that was all they needed to win the game 3-2 yesterday late afternoon. So that 0-1 pitch is fired in there for a ball. So even count with no outs here in the bottom of the third inning. That one is fouled into the netting behind the Red Hawks dugout to bring the count to 1-2. Red Hawks trying to manufacture some runs here as they find themselves in a 5-0 hole here in the third inning. That one is fouled away once again down the third baseline by Parker Maspin. Maspin from Carmel, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. Ball State, of course, in Muncie, Indiana, about an hour and a half away from here. Is that 1-2 pitch is called for a ball. Good eye there by Parker Maspin. Even up the count, 2-2. The closest MAC school, Mid-American Conference school to Miami is Ball State, as Maspin gets punched out looking there on the slider that sneaks over the inside corner of the plate. And that's going to be the first out for the Red Hawks as McKay Williams, the senior right fielder, steps into the batter's box. The lefty. Miami has to do some traveling when you have the likes of Northern Illinois, which is about a 4 or 5 hour drive. Buffalo, the farthest MAC school, about 6 or 7 hours away. Ball State, an easy road trip for both of these squads. Ironically, they're in separate parts of the conference, with Ball State being in the west, Miami in the east. First pitch is called for a strike, looking there by McKay Williams as he swings at that one and misses in the high fastball. He gets behind in the count 0-2 with 1 out. Standing on deck for the Red Hawks, leadoff hitter Kyle Winkler. Oh, 2 pitch is a ball on the outside of the plate, just outside, not enough plate to get the called strike. So staying alive is McKay Williams. That one's outside and in the dirt to even up the count at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch coming for Baker here. That one swung on and grounded foul down the first baseline. Giving chase is the Ball State bat boy. This beautiful Sunday afternoon. Game 1 of a doubleheader between the Ball State Cardinals and the Miami Red Hawks. Both these teams in the top of the MAC standings, jockeying for position. This is the first meeting for these two this season. That 2-2 pitch is called for a ball to fill up the count at 3-2 with 1 out. Three-two count coming here. 3-2 pitch coming here for McKay Williams as he sits on that one and takes it for a ball. Leadoff walk. Or not a leadoff walk there as McKay Williams heads to first base. Parker Maspin was punched out. McKay Williams walks, and we are back to the top of the order with Kyle Winkler stepping into the right-handed batter's box. Miami finally gets through their order. Took Ball State about half the time with their 5 runs and 7 hits. Miami with only 2 hits so far in this ball game as McKay Williams almost gets thrown out there at first base as John Baker fired it over there to his first baseman, Ricotta. Oh, 1 pitch is, or the first pitch is called for a strike. 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch coming here with 1 out. Winkler takes that one for a ball. Mentioned this is the first meeting between these two. It's actually going to be the only meeting of the season. It's a big series as both these teams are going to be back and forth at the end of the season trying to get that MAC automatic bid. 1-1 pitch is called for a ball. 2-1. Hitter's pitch coming for Kyle Winkler. That one is popped up into center field. Should be no problem for Aaron Simpson as he makes the catch. And that's going to put 2 down for the Red Hawks. Stepping into the batter's box here for the Red Hawks is going to be Will Vogelsang, the shortstop for Miami. He's 0 for 1 so far this afternoon with a ground out. He's batting .311 on the season. 1 homer, 17 RBIs. Trying to keep the inning alive. Move over the base runner at least. Get on base here. As Miami finds themselves in a 5-0 hole here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The first pitch is taken for a ball by Winkler. 1-0 pitch as Baker comes home. Swung on, fouled back to the screen by Winkler to even up the count at 1-1 with 2 outs. McKay Williams over there on first base after he walked on the full count with 1 out. We sit at 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Heating up is the weather a little bit here as we're almost to 1 o'clock on the hour. One count with 2 outs here. Kyle Winkler at the plate as Baker goes to first base to try to check McKay Williams, keeping him taking too big of a lead. Modest lead from McKay Williams. And the 1-1 pitch from Baker. Laid down bunt that's popped up and caught there by Chase Sebi, and that's going to end the inning as Kylo Winkler unable to put that bunt down on the ground, pops it up, and that's going to end the inning for the Red Hawks. We head to the 4th inning. Listen to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back.
Runs, no hits, no errors.
Back to action here at McKee Field.
Congratulations to Madeline for
Top of the 4th inning underway, about to get underway here as Ball State's going to go back to bat against Spencer Mraz, who finds himself with a 5-0 deficit. 5 earned runs for Spencer Mraz with 2 strikeouts. He surrendered 7 hits. Coming to the plate for the Cardinals is going to be Noah Powell. He's got an RBI off the sacrifice fly. So he comes up once again, takes that first pitch for a ball. We get ahead in the count. That one catches Noah Powell. And that's going to be a hit batter. Walk for Mraz, leadoff walk for the Cardinals, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Tim Blankensperger. He's got 1 hit and 1 run. He scored on one of the couple triples that Ball State had. First pitch is called for a strike there from Mraz. Mraz in a little bit different of a start today, as his last start was at Bowling Green. He went 7 innings, 1 hit, and 2 earned runs. As that 0-1 pitch is popped up and unable to make the catch there is Stevens, as it got down too quick. That's going to bring the count to 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runner on first base for Ball State. Noah Powell, shortstop, standing over there on First base trying to move him over is his DH, Tim Blankensberger. He's batting .235 in the year with 1 homer, 6 RBIs. He's 1-1 so far this afternoon. 1 for 1 so far this afternoon, rather. He takes the 0-2 pitch high and away from Mraz. To tally the first ball of the at-bat. 1-2 count. Kenny Schierlinger for Red Hawk Radio here for Game 1 of this doubleheader as Ball State leads at 5-0 against the Red Hawks here in the top of the 4th inning. Mraz comes home with the 1-2 pitch. That one's called for a ball, low and away to even up the count. That one's a punch out, swinging strikeout there for Spencer Mraz as he gets Blankensberger swinging and he heads to the dugout. Mraz gets his first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the top of the order. Once again, Aaron Simpson, the center fielder, steps into the right-handed batter's box. He's batting .357 on the year, 37 games played and 37 starts. 140 at-bats with 50 hits. Good leadoff hitter for the Cardinals as he takes the first ball. Low and away, called for a ball, 1-0 count with 1 out. Run on first base for the Cardinals, that's Noah Powell, who was hit by a pitch by Mraz earlier in the inning. Mraz 5-2 on the year. 9 appearances as that one's grounded up the middle. Played there by Landon Stevens. He fires over there to first base and can't get him there as that was a tough play for Landon Stevens to get it over the first base. He had to throw off his back foot. It's going to be an infield hit there for the leadoff hitter, Aaron Simpson. Runners at first and second now for the Cardinals with no outs, or 1 out. Noah Navarro's going to step into the batter's box, the freshman second baseman, who's 2 for 2 on the day already. He's got 1 RBI, 2 hits, 1 double, and 1 run. The guy you exactly want up today with runners in scoring, or with a runner in scoring position here for Ball State. The first pitch, swung on, laced up the middle, played by Winkler. They're going to try to turn 2, and they do. To get out of the inning as Spencer Mraz gets the ground ball, 4-6-3 double play for the Red Hawks as they get out of the inning unscathed. And that's the first scoreless inning for the Red Hawks this afternoon as they don't surrender any runs there in the top of the 4th inning. We're going to head to the middle of the 4th inning and the Red Hawks coming at the bat shortly. You listen to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back.
Hi, Grandma. Can Nina come over for dinner?
Sure. I've been meaning to ask you, what would happen if someone offered you a drink?
Grandma?
If anyone ever does, I want you to say, no, I have too much respect for my family and I don't want to get in trouble.
I promise, Grandma.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. That's underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. This message brought to you by SAMHSA and this station.
2 new settlements totaling $1.2 billion have been reached with Halliburton and Transocean over the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. People and/or businesses may be eligible for payments from these settlements pending in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana. The majority of the money will go toward compensating local fishermen, as well as individuals, businesses, local governments, and other entities.
Hey, hon, what you do?
Many medicines used to treat cold.
Bottom of the 4th inning about to get underway here for the Red Hawks as they find themselves in a 5-0 hole against Ball State, stepping into the batter's box, right in the batter's box, and taking the first Pitch for a strike is Landon Stevens. The two Stevens about to get their at-bats in. Jordan Stevens stands on deck. Second pitch there is called for a ball to even up the count at 1-1. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The 1-1 pitch is called for another ball outside. Stevens gets ahead in the count. Stevens has a one hit so far this afternoon as he pops that one up to the shortstop, Powell, who makes the catch. Noah Powell, no problem there, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Jordan Stevens.
Number 6, Red Hawk third baseman Jordan.
He's 1 for 1 so far this afternoon, or 1 for 2 so far this afternoon with 1 hit. Takes the first ball for a called strike. Catches the outside corner of the plate. The 1-0 pitch from Baker. A 1 pitch from Baker. Evens up the count at 1-1. 1 out for Jordan Stevens. Picked up a single. His last at bat, and that's going to be another single there as he laces it down into left center field. Fielded there by Simpson. Holding there around first base is Jordan Stevens as he picks up his second single of the afternoon. Cal Elvers is going to step into the batter's box now for the Red Hawks, trying to get something going, at least get on the scoring, in the scoring column here for the Red Hawks as they find themselves in a hole 5-0. If you're just joining us, Ball State scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second, and 1 in the third. They had their first scoreless inning batting in the top of the fourth inning. Spencer Mraz took care of business in that inning. The offense has been very active for the Cardinals this afternoon. On the other side, Miami hasn't been able to get anything going really here as called ball is in there to even up the count at 1-1 with 1 out. Cal Elvers batting .354 on the year. The 1-1 pitch called for a strike. Fastball fired in there over the inside corner of the plate for John Baker to get ahead in the count. 1-2. Baker's got 2 strikeouts this afternoon. He surrendered 3 hits. 2 of them have come by Jordan Stevens. As he steps off the rubber. Calls timeout. Baker ready now. He comes home. Swinging slider gets Cal Elvers to strike out again as he strikes out for the second time this afternoon, and he's going to head to the Miami dugout. That's 2 down for the Red Hawks. Stepping into the batter's box is going to be Cole Andrews, the DH. Andrews is batting .330 on the year with 3 homers, 23 RBIs. He takes the first pitch for a ball that was low and into the dirt. John Baker has looked good so far this afternoon. 49 strikeouts now for John Baker on the year after 3 today. 1-0 pitch, check swing, and they're going to say he went there to even up the count at 1-1. Spectators here at Miami don't like that call. Didn't look like he went there, but can't change it now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Jordan Stevens over there on first base for the Red Hawks. The pitch, high, called for a ball. 2-1 count now for Cole Andrews. Ball State with 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Miami with no runs, 3 hits, no errors so far. The 2-1 pitch. Hitter's pitch coming for Cole Andrews. He checks his swing again, but they're going to call that a strike as it went over the plates. 2-2 now. Andrews battling John Baker. Baker has looked good, looked very good so far. Baker, who's 4-1 on the season with 7 appearances, goes to first base to try to keep Stevens from taking too big of a lead. Stevens slides in the first base safe. Stalls the at-bat just a couple of moments. The 2-2 pitch is a check swing there by Cole Andrews. Good eye, and that one's going to be in the dirt. Full count now for Cole Andrews and the Red Hawks with 2 outs. Their home plate umpire is Matt Cunningham. First base is John Molesky, and third base Matt Nieder. Stevens will be going on this one with the full count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Red Hawks trying to get something going here. 3-2 pitch, swung on and popped up into right field. Should be an easy play there for Messina, and he makes the catch, and the Red Hawks go scoreless once again in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ball State leads Miami 5-0 here at McKee Field as we head to the 5th inning here in Oxford. Goes to Miami Baseball and Red Hawk Radio.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how, and we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this,
back to action we go here in the top of the 5th inning. Ball State coming to bat once again. They lead the Red Hawks 5-0. As Ross Messina steps into the right-handed batter's box, takes the first pitch from Spencer Mraz for a ball. Mraz has given up 5 runs, 5 earned runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, 4 innings pitched. He heads into the 5th in a hole, as that 1-0 pitch is fouled back at the screen to even up the count at 1-1. Mraz trying to make sure he doesn't give up any more runs. The Red Hawks are going to have to wake up on offense. Only with 3 hits, Jordan Stevens has 2 of them. They're going to have to get some other guys to wake up, and if they want to get back in this ball game. As that one is swung on, popped up into left field. Should be no problem there for the left fielder, Kyle Winkler, as he makes the catch. And that's going to be the first out of the inning for the Red Hawks. That's going to bring up John Ricotta, the senior first baseman for the Ball State Cardinals. He's batting .292 on the season. He's already got a strikeout this afternoon. Mraz, first pitch, breaking ball that gets over the plate, 75-mile-an-hour Breaking ball gets called for a strike as Mraz gets ahead in the count. That one is swung on and fouled, tipped into the glove, and that's going to be the second strike of the at-bat. Mraz looks a lot better this inning here, trying to get his second out of the inning. He's ahead in the count, 0-2 with 1 out. Base pass empty for the Red Hawks. Or for the Ball State Cardinals, as that one is tipped out of play. Foul ball is going to keep the count at 0-2. Infielders in normal depth. They have the shift on for Ricotta. Landon Stevens to the left of second base over there. That's going to be a swinging strikeout as Spencer Mraz gets John Ricotta on strikes. The tally is second out of the inning. Mraz looks a little bit more like himself here in the top of the 5th. That's going to bring up William Baker for the Cardinals. He's batting .315 on the year. He's got 1 at bat with a sacrifice. Who moved the runners over early in this ball game from first and second to second and third. First pitch is called for a ball there from Mraz. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Ball State leads at 5-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. In game 1 of a doubleheader on Easter Sunday here at McKee Ballpark. Beautiful weather, not a cloud in the sky. Feels about 60 degrees with the sun out. Second pitch is fouled away over the first base bleachers to even up the count at 1-1. First 2 days of this series, only got 1 ball game in. First game was suspended in the top of the 6th inning on Friday afternoon due to rain. Overnight rain delay was picked back up on Saturday yesterday, and they finished that one and then moved the game that was supposed to be yesterday to today, and we have a doubleheader on this Sunday. As that pitch is taken for a ball to bring the count to 2-1. Some fans filing in here, catching some baseball action here on the campus of Miami University. Red Hawks have work cut out for them as they find themselves in a 5-0 hole. The 2-1 pitch is fouled away to even up the count at 2-2. Will Baker at bat for the Cardinals. Outfielder from Kansas City, Missouri, from Fort Scott Community College. He's 5'11", 175. Right-handed batter, right-handed arm as well. 2-2 pitch from Mraz. Check swing that's fouled back at the screen. Mraz fooled him there. 94 mile an hour fastball. That ate up William Baker there. Trying to get out of the inning. 1-2-3, Spencer Mraz. He surrendered 8 hits. He's 1 strike away from getting out of the 5th inning unscathed. That one is fouled back as Will Baker battling off Mraz. One earned run in the first, 3 earned runs in the second, and 1 earned run in the third for Mraz. He had a scoreless 4th inning, trying to get his 2nd straight scoreless inning of the afternoon here in the top of the 5th. The 2-2 pitch from Mraz is inside. As turning away from that was Will Baker. That's going to fill the count up at 3-2 with 2 outs. No runners on for the Cardinals. Baker trying to change that here. He's battled Mraz in this at-bat. Mraz pitch count up to 58. That one is laced up the middle. It's going to drop down in front of the first or center fielder, Massman, and he's going to field that one. It's going to be a 2-out single there for the for the Cardinals. As Will Baker gets on base. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Mac Murphy, the freshman. With 2 outs. The first pitch from Mraz is high, called for a ball. Murphy, the outfielder from Indianapolis. About 2-hour drive from here. About an hour or so drive from Muncie. So not far from home. Good crowd on hand here on a sunny afternoon as both these teams having very good seasons so far. That second pitch is called for a ball. 2-0 count with 2 outs. Runner on first base for the Cardinals. That's Will Baker. Miami coming in this ball game 29-8. Ball State 24-13. 2-0 pitch is called for a strike. 2-1. Decent amount of Ball State fans here in the crowd this afternoon. As they don't have to travel very far from Muncie, about an hour and a half drive. Easy drive, too, through the countryside of Indiana and Ohio, as that's going to be a called strike, swinging strike there by Mac Murphy, and that's going to even up the count at 2-2 with 2 outs. Mraz trying to get his 5th strikeout of the afternoon. Pitch count up to 66. For the 6'10 Mraz. He's going to come home with a 2-2 pitch. Runner going. Fouled away. Keeping the count at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch coming shortly from Mraz. Mac Murphy's 2 for 3 goes, and that's going to be fouled away. He's 2 for 3 in stolen bases on the season, and that one is fouled off into the dirt. And that's going to be keep the count at 2-2. Mraz battling here, trying to get out of the inning scoreless once again. The 300 hitter Mac Murphy faces a 2-2 pitch. Mraz comes home. He slaps that one into left field. Should be no problem for Winkler, and he makes the catch. And he's going to head into the Miami dugout, and that's going to end the inning for Spencer Mraz and the Miami Redhawks as they still face a 5-0 deficit here as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. You listen to Miami Redhawks baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Kenny Schierlinger will be right back.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation or gender identity? And the answer is the difference between keeping your job or getting fired. The answer is the difference between staying in your home or getting evicted. The answer is the difference between receiving medical treatment or not. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against people based on their answer to this question. LGBT Americans have the right to say I do, but they don't have the same basic rights as everyone else. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone?
Do flowers have best friends?
I don't know. Hey, look.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Back to action we go here. Bottom of the 5th inning. Red Hawks are up to bat. That one is slapped into center field. Left center field is going to get down and turning around first base and cruising into second base for the Red Hawks. It's going to be Reed Norberg with the leadoff double. Norberg wasted no time, and the Red Hawks have a runner in scoring position. It's going to bring up Parker Massman, the center fielder, number 27. Steps into the right-handed batter's box. Sophomore, batting .222 on the year. Trying to manufacture at least one run in this inning. He's 0 for 2 so far this afternoon. He takes the first ball. First pitch in there for a ball. 1-0 count, no outs. Runner in scoring position for the Red Hawks already here. Off the leadoff double from Reed Norberg. The 1-0 pitch coming here from John Baker. He looks back, takes his time, comes to the home plate, grounded up the middle, trying to beat it out as Massman. He moves over the base runner as he gets called out at first base. First run of the day for the Red Hawks, standing 90 feet away. All they need is a long fly ball to score one. And that's going to bring up number 12, the right fielder, McKay Williams, the senior. He's batting .298 on the year. He's played 30 games, 25 starts, 94 at-bats, with 23 RBIs. He reached on a walk earlier this afternoon in this ball game. First pitch is outside, called for a ball there with 1 out. Second pitch, called for a ball. About the same position there. Outside and away. Kay Williams with 23 RBIs, trying to add to that total here. He's got 2 homers, 24 runs. And he faces a 2-0 count here. Baker comes to home plate, and that's going to be called for a ball. 3-0 count for McKay Williams. Trying to reach on a walk once again. Probably will not be swinging at this one. Baker having trouble to find the plate here. He fires that fastball over the plate for a called strike. 3-1 count, 1 out. Runner 90 feet away for the Red Hawks. That's Reed Norberg with the leadoff double, and then he was moved over by his teammate Parker Massman. 3-1 count, or 3-1 pitch is called for a strike over the plate. Check swing as he went was McKay Williams, so he has 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. John Baker battles back to fill up the count after 3 straight balls. Three-two pitch, low and outside as McKay Williams walks for the second time this afternoon. And with 1 out, the Red Hawks have runners at the corners. And that's going to bring us back to the top of the order. Kyle Winkler, junior left fielder. He's batting .320 on the year with 25 RBIs, 4 homers, 28 runs, with 2 flyouts already this afternoon. If you're the Red Hawks, you got to be happy with what you've done this inning so far. In the bottom of the 5th, runners at the corners with the top of your lineup coming up. The first pitch coming from John Baker. Swung on, just fouled on the third base line. A little bit too early there from Winkler. If he sat back just a little bit, that would have been a big base hit. Probably would have scored 2, as that one would have got into the left field corner. But nonetheless, it's going to be called for a strike. 0-2, 0-1 count here with 1 out for Kylo Winkler. Winkler from Littleton, Colorado, Chatfield High School. He laces that one down the line once again, foul. About the same pitch. He's just going to have to sit back on that one again, and we'll be in business. No balls, 2 strikes for Kylo Winkler. Trying to score one here. You see in the pitch as well as he takes that his first ball high and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball State leads at 5-0. Here on the road, the 1-2 pitch from Baker coming here. Comes home, slapped foul there by Winkler. Just battles off that pitch, keeping the count at 1-2. Winkler trying to get an RBI here with a runner standing there 90 feet away. Runners in the corners for Miami as they're trying to get in the scoring column for the first time this afternoon. 1-2 pitch swung on and missed there by Winkler. 86 mile an hour pitch gets Winkler down swinging, and that's going to bring up Will Vogelsang with 2 outs. Runners on the corners here. Vogelsang from right down the road in Cincinnati went to Archbishop Moeller High School in the GCL. Great athletic high school. Former Red Hawk quarterback Gus Ragland went to Archbishop Moeller as well. That one swung on and missed there by Will Vogelsang. Probably one of their most famous alumni, Barry Larkin. Also went to Archbishop Moeller. Longtime MLB player, now analyst for ESPN. 0-1 counts now with Will Vogelsang in the right-handed batter's box. He cocks the bat over his right shoulder. 0-1 pitch is called for a strike. 0-2 now with 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Vogelsang and the Red Hawks down to their last strike here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Trying to get in the scoring column for the first time this afternoon. They're in a 5-0 hole. Spencer Mraz has looked better as recent, having 2 scoreless innings in the 4th and 5th inning. Just needs some runs here for the Red Hawks. That one hits Vogelsang there on the... Ooh, they're going to say it didn't. He said that they hit the bat. Vogelsang doesn't like that call. He shows the umpire there that he got hit. So far, he's 1 for 2 with a double. So the Red Hawks could have been in business here with that hit by a pitch, but Vogelsang is going to step into the batter's box here, facing a 0-2 count with 2 outs. Red Hawk faithful behind the dugout, trying to will their team some runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning as we're getting a timeout. Visit from the first base coach of Ball State. Dustin Glunt over there on the mound, trying to calm down his right-handed pitcher, John Baker, who's looked very good so far. He's only surrendered 4 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He's at 50 strikeouts with his 4 today, overall in the season. Having a pretty good year. The junior from Heartland, Michigan, 6'3", 207. Trying to get out of this inning unscathed. Runners on the corners for Miami here with 2 outs. Will Vogelsang in the right-handed batter's box. Cocks the bat over his right shoulder. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and that's going to end the inning as John Baker gets Will Vogelsang on strikes. And the Red Hawks come up scoreless once again as we head to the 6th inning here at McKee Park. 5-0 lead for Ball State over Miami. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation?
Back to action we go here. Kenny Schierlinger alongside you for Red Hawk Radio as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Miami threatened there in the bottom of the 5th inning. But a strikeout there by Will Vogelsang. John Baker gets Vogelsang to sit down, and that ended the inning. Vogelsang thought he got hit there, but the home plate umpire thought that he hit the butt of the bat. And that would have loaded the bases up with 2 outs. The Red Hawks still scoreless here in a 5-0 hole here in the top of the 6th inning. At bat for the Cardinals is Chase Sebi, their catcher. He's 1 for 2 so far this afternoon. The 1-0 pitch called for a strike to even up the count at 1-1. Sebi's batting .264 on the year with 24 RBIs. The 1-1 pitch called for a strike as Spencer Mraz fires in there a 91-mile-an-hour fastball to get ahead in the count. 1-2. One-two pitch for Mraz. Check swing. Go down the first base, and they say he did not go. 2-2. Evens up the count there on the check swing. Called ball. The spectators here at McKee Field on the Miami side did not like that call. Looked like he did go. Nonetheless, we're going to have a 2-2 count here with no outs. Spencer Mraz deals at the plate, and he hits him there in the back shoulder, and that's going to send Chase Sebi to first base. Another swing of events there. Thought he had a strikeout, then he ends up hitting the batter, so that's going to bring up shortstop Noah Powell. Powell's got 1 RBI so far this afternoon on the sacrifice fly. He's batting .219 on the year. First pitch high as he showed bunt. Brushes him off the plate. Called for a strike. Lots of heat coming there from the 6'10 Spencer Mraz. Don't want to step in there and take that one. High and tight. Ball State with 5 runs on 9 hits, no errors. Miami with no runs on 4 hits and no errors. We're here in the top of the 6th inning. Ball State leads at 5-0 in game 1 of this doubleheader on Sunday afternoon. Laid down bunt down the first base line, and that's going to do its job as the runner moves over. And that's going to be the first out of the inning as Noah Powell gets tagged out down the first base line. Chase Sebi moves over to second base. Runner in scoring position for the Cardinals, trying to add to their lead. Sits at 5 right now. Tim Blankensberger, the DH, 9th batter in the order, comes up for the Cardinals. Spencer Mraz at 80 pitches so far this afternoon with 4 strikeouts and a couple hit batters. The first pitch is fouled back out of play right over us in the left of the press box here. Wind has died down, almost non-existent here, which was not the case the last 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Friday it started kicking up very much with the storm rolling in. And now it's all dried out. No clouds in the sky, all sunny, and feels about 60 degrees. Nice spring day here in southwestern Ohio. Second pitch is fired in there for a ball in the dirt. 1-1 counts. Game 2 of this doubleheader will be played at the conclusion of 45 minutes after this first game here. So we'll hit the reset button and close out the series here in Oxford. The only meeting between these two powerhouses in the MAC this season. That pitch, 1-1 pitch, is fouled into the Miami bullpen. It's snagged there by one of the Red Hawks. It's going to bring the count to 1-2 with 1 out. Runner on first base, second base is Chase Sebi, the catcher. Tim Blankensberger. He's got 1 hit and 1 run, 1 strikeout so far in this ball game. Faces a 1-2 count from Spencer Mraz. Mraz comes home with a 1-2. High and away, 2-2 with the called ball there. Blankensberger from Kokomo, Indiana, redshirt sophomore. Two-two pitch is popped up. It's going to stay in the infield. Should be no problem there for Will Vogelsang at short. He makes the catch and gets the second out of the inning for the Red Hawks. That's going to bring us to the top of the order once again with Aaron Simpson, who's had a good day at the plate so far. He's got 1 hit, 1 run, 1 strikeout. He's reached 50% of the time so far this afternoon. He's batting .346 with 34 RBIs and 3 homers. Running in scoring position for Simpson as he steps into the right-handed batter's box. Cocks bat over his right shoulder, turns away from that first pitch from Mraz. It's going to be called for a ball high and tight. All-State wearing the red tops, red helmets, red ball caps, and the white pants. Miami with their creamsicle jerseys, all white kind of throwbacks today. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Going down to second base and going down to second base and coming home is Sebi. They try to get him at the plate, and he's going to get tagged out there. Cal Elvers went down to second base with a runner going. They fired it down to third base. Jordan Stevens misplayed it, chased it down right in front of the Miami dugout, threw to Cal Elvers back at home plate, and they got the easy tag out to end the inning. So that works out for Miami, and they still trail it 5-0 here in the middle of the 6th inning as we head to the bottom with Miami coming up to bat next. So this is Miami Baseball and Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone?
Do flowers have best friends?
I don't know. Hey, look.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you.
Hi, Grandma. Can Nina come over for dinner?
Sure. I've been meaning to ask you, what would happen if someone offered you a drink?
Grandma?
If anyone ever does, I want you to say, no, I have too much respect for my family and I don't want to get in trouble.
I promise, Grandma.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. That's underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. This message brought to you by SAMHSA and this station.
Two new settlements totaling $1.2 billion have been reached with Halliburton and Transocean over the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. People and/or businesses may be eligible for payments from these settlements pending in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana. The majority of the money will go toward compensating local fishermen, as well as individuals, businesses, local governments, and other entities. If you filed a claim in the settlement with BP, you do not need to file a new claim. Your claim will automatically be considered for payment.
Kenny Schierlinger for Red Hawk Radio alongside with you here for game one of this doubleheader. Miami trailing Ball State 5-0 as they come to bat here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Landon Stevens steps into the right-handed batter's box, takes the first pitch for a ball from John Baker, the starter, who's still in the ball game, and he's looked very good so far today with 5 strikeouts, 2 base on balls, and 4 hits surrendered. Second pitch is fired in there for a ball to bring the count to 2-0 with no outs here for Landon Stevens. Jordan Stevens stands in the batter's box, or stands on deck for Miami. He's got 2 hits so far this afternoon as well. Third pitch of the at-bat is swung on and missed there from Landon Stevens to bring the count to 2-1. Both of Stevens having good days today. Landon with a double already, and he gets hit right there, plucked in the back, right on the numbers, and that's going to send him to first base and bring up Jordan Stevens. So another runner here early in this inning for the Red Hawks. Jordan Stevens comes out the bat. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles so far this afternoon. Talked to Jordan yesterday post-game, and he was a little upset about snapping his 13-game hitting streak as he laces that one in between the first and second baseman right in the right field, and he's going to get on once again with 3 singles already for Jordan Stevens. No outs. Miami in business here with Cal Alvarez coming up the bat. Alvarez with 2 strikeouts on the afternoon, not having the best day at the plate. But he's got a golden opportunity here to put Miami on the board with a runner in scoring position on second base. Jordan Stevens knocks over his fellow Stevens to second base after he was plucked in the back. First pitch there of that bat is called for a ball. Stevens kind of compared this weekend being back in JUCO at Howard College with the doubleheader on Sunday. Second ball is fired in there for a called ball. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs to Cal Alvarez, the Buster Posey Award watch list recipient a couple weeks ago, which goes to the best NCAA catcher in the country. He's batting .350 on the year. The 2-0 pitch swung on, grounded into the Miami dugout, foul to bring the count to 2-1. Some more fans file in here, trying to catch the half of this game, and then the final game in this series later after the conclusion of this game, 45 minutes after, we'll get the first pitch for game 3 of this series. The 2-1 pitch coming from Baker. He comes home, and it's going to be called for a strike. Breaking ball, 76 mile an hour, catches the inside of the plate. Good looking pitch there that fooled Cal Alvarez. That's going to bring the count to 2-2. Alvarez from Springfield, Illinois. Sacred Heart Griffin High School. 2-2 pitch is high and away to fill up the count, 3-2. Baker with one more ball will load up the bases for Cole Andrews, who's standing on deck right in front of the Miami dugout. Alvarez trying to get on here. Should get a pretty good pitch here as Baker doesn't want to Walk, the bases loaded. The 3-2 pitch coming from Baker. Swung on and prematurely hit there down the third baseline. Foul by Cal Elvers. Got to sit back a little bit on that one, and that would have been a base knock and probably would have scored Landon Stevens, who stands over there on second base. Jordan Stevens on first after his third straight single of the afternoon. Getting back on track after the hitless game one in this series. The 3-2 pitch again is going to be high and away, and the bases are loaded for the Red Hawks here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They're in business with no outs. Some movement going on over there in the Ball State bullpen, and that's going to bring up Cole Andrews with the bases loaded. Miami trying to dig themselves back into this ball game. They face a 5-0 deficit. Spencer Morass had the first couple 3 innings had a rough time out with giving up 1 earned run in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, but 4th, 5th, and 6th inning, or 4th, 5th, the 4th and 5th inning have been scoreless for Morass as he settled down a little bit. Red Hawks trying to get on the board at least here with the bases juiced. Cole Andrews is left on base as he reached on a base on, or a hit pitch. He was hit by a pitch and reached and was left on base. He also has a fly out. He's batting .327 on the year with 23 RBIs. First pitch is grounded at Baker, and he's going to come home, and it's going to be a double play there as they get the runner at home, Landon Stevens, and they throw it down the first base. Not the outcome you wanted there for Miami, as Cole Andrews grounds into a double play that gets the lead runner and himself. Runner still on third and second for the Red Hawks, with Reed Norberg coming up for Miami, trying to salvage this inning here. Reed Norberg already has a single. He's 1 for 2. Or a double, rather. He's 1 for 2. First pitch is fired in there for a strike over the plate. Breaking ball at 78 miles per hour. To get ahead in the count for Baker. Reed takes the second pitch for a ball to even up the count at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch coming here with 2 outs. Swing and a miss there by Reed Norberg as he falls behind in the count 1-2. John Baker would be ecstatic to get out of this inning unscathed. So he faced the bases loaded with 2 outs, got the double play that got the lead runner at home plate. He's 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Pitch count up to 92 for John Baker. The 2-1 pitch, 1-2 pitch is called for a ball outside. Jay Sebi has to step out of his stance to catch that one. It's going to even up the count at 2-2. So we're going to get a visit here from Ball State head coach Rich Bologna in his 14th season, the winningest coach in Ball State baseball program history. Trying to make sure John Baker gets out of this inning. Would be a big blow to the Red Hawks' morale if they come up scoreless here with this opportunity in the top of the 6th, or bottom of the 6th. I could just mention the bases were juiced. Ducks on the pond with no outs moments ago, and then the double play came and really put a damper on the scoring opportunity here. They still have a runner on second and third. Stevens standing 90 feet away. He represents the first run for Miami this afternoon. Reed Norberg, check swing, and they said he went, and that's going to end the inning here. Third out. Tallied there by John Baker as he gets out of the inning in the jam, unscathed. Ball State still leading Miami 5-0. Goes to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. We head to the top of the 7th inning here at McKee Field. Kenny Schierlinger alongside with you. Miami Baseball and Red Hawk Radio on YouTube Live. Thank you for tuning in. As Miami have found themselves in a 5-0 deficit for quite some time here after surrendering 5 runs in the first 3 innings and squandering some golden opportunities to score some runs. Last inning, as that first pitch is fired in there for a ball. They had the bases loaded, Miami did, with no outs. Unable to come away after they had a double play that got 2 and the lead runner scored nobody, and then a strikeout to end the inning as Tyler Bozema has entered the game for the Red Hawks as pitcher, the lefty. He gets a strike there, 2-1. 25 innings pitched, 31 hits, 38 strikeouts, and a 6.84 ERA for Bozema. Bozema, rather. Correction, as he fires that 4th pitch in the dirt to even up the count at 2-2. Bozema, the freshman from Holland, Michigan, West Ontario or Ottawa High School. As he swing, and they're going to swing and a miss. Strikeout there for Bozema. As he comes into the game and gets a strikeout in the first out of the top of the 7th inning. Good movement there from Bozema there. To get the leadoff hitter, Aaron Simpson. That's going to bring up Noah Navarro, the freshman infielder for the Cardinals. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI, batting .312. First pitch strike, swinging there from Navarro. Get it in the count. To get ahead in the count, Bozema. So Spencer Mraz gets through 6 innings, and that is going to be a fly ball caught there by the Red Hawks in the right field. No problem there by McKay Williams to bring up the third batter of the inning here for Ball State. 23, Ross Messina. 2 down for the Red Hawks. Bosma's looked good so far in his first 2 batters here in the top of the 7th inning. So Mraz goes 6 innings, 5 earned runs, 9 hits, 4 strikeouts. Faced 20 batters, gave up 2 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 doubles on 83 pitches. Tyler Bosma, the left-handed 6'6", 195 freshman pitcher from Holland, comes in and takes his place. Holland, of course, the hometown of former Michigan State quarterback Kirk Cousins and now Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins. So 2 pretty good arms coming out of Holland, Michigan. First pitch comes to the plate. It's going to be called for a ball there. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Bosma trying to keep the lead only at 5 for Ball State. Miami's going to have to generate some runs here. 1-0 pitch fired in there for another ball, 2-0. So Ross Messina gets ahead in the count. The junior from Kansas City, Missouri. Bosma comes home and gets a breaking ball strike, 79 miles per hour. It catches the inside corner of the plate. Fooled Ross Messina there. 2-1. Hitter's pitch coming for Messina. Swung on and foul back over the home plate netting. That's going to even up the count at 2-2 with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 7th inning. Tyler Bosma has come out of the bullpen, has looked good so far, trying to go 1-2-3 in his first inning here this afternoon. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball that just comes inside, and it's going to be called for a ball to fill up the count at 3-2 with 2 outs. Bosma with a 6.66 ERA with 25 innings pitched, as that one is fouled into the Miami bullpen, or Ball State dugout for a ball to keep the count at a 3-2 full count with 2 outs. Ball State still leads at 5-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. Messina with 1 RBI and 2 hits so far this afternoon. The 3-2 pitch is fouled back at the netting once again. Bosma and Messina battling it out here. Messina trying to keep the inning going. Bosma has another thing in mind, trying to get out of the inning, 1-2-3. Comes to the plate. This one's hit out into left field and should be no problem there for the left fielder, Kylo Winkler. So Bosma comes in, 1-2-3 inning to end the top of the 7th inning. The Red Hawks will come up to bat as Parker Maspin will be coming up, and McKay Williams, the bottom of the order for Miami, coming up in the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back.
Baseball.
Welcome back to McKee Field. So the Miami Redhawks find themselves in a 5-0 hole with the bottom of the order coming up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Parker Maspin pops this one up in the short left field, and it's made there by the third baseman, Baker, for the first out. One down for the Redhawks, and coming up to the plate, it's going to be McKay Williams. Williams batting .298 on the season. He's reached on 2 walks. He shows bunt, and that one is tapped foul down the first base line and drifts into the dugout of Ball State. Ball State with 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Miami with no runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Still pitching for the Cardinals is John Baker. His pitch count is approaching 90. Is at 98, approaching the 100 mark. Second pitch is fired in there for a ball. 1-1 count with 1 out. At bat, McKay Williams, the 9th batter in the order. He pops this one up into shallow left field, and it's going to be caught there by the left fielder for Ball State, Murphy, for the second out. 2 up, 2 down for the Redhawks. Top of the order coming up with Kyle Winkler, the junior left fielder, stepping into the batter's box. He's got 1 strikeout, 2 flyouts, 0 for 3 so far in this ball game. Game 2 of this 3-game series that got postponed until today. Ball State got the first one, winning 3-2 yesterday in an overnight rain delay that we picked up at 6 in the top of the 6th inning yesterday. Ball State did all their damage in the top of the 7th. Miami almost came back in the 9th inning with the winning run 90 feet from home plates, but stranded them and ended up losing that one. 3 straight balls coming here from John Baker to start the at-bats with Kylo Winkler at bat. Winkler, the junior from Littleton, Colorado, takes a straight there that catches the inside corner of the plate. 85-mile-an-hour fastball. Swing and a miss there. They fill up the count at 3-2. As Kyler Winkler gets fooled there on the breaking ball. Three-two count. 2 outs. Winkler swings, hit right up the middle, off the pitcher's mound, and cruises into center field as Winkler picks up the 2-out single. And that will bring up the shortstop, Will Vogelsang. He's got a double. He's 0 for 3 actually in this ball game. A strikeout, ground out, and fly out. Trying to get on base here with the runner on first base after the 2-out single. Vogelsang takes the first pitch from Baker, called for a ball, low and inside. Baker at 107 pitches now. Winkler over there on first base, modest lead. The 1-0 pitch swung on and grounded to third base. Firing it over there is the third baseman, Baker. Ricotta has to field that one on a short hop. He does, and that's going to end the inning here for Miami as we head to the top of the 8th inning with Ball State leading Miami 5-0. Listen to the Red Hawk Radio on baseball. You're listening to Red Hawk Baseball on Red Hawk Radio.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation or gender identity? And
Top of the 8th inning as Ball State comes back to bat here as the first pitch is fired in there from Bosma for a strike. 5-0 lead here for Ball State over the Miami Redhawks. Swing and a miss there, John Ricotta. It's Bosma. Fools him there on the high fastball. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. No outs. John Ricotta faces the 0-2 pitch. That one's going to be outside, called for a ball. Ricotta with 2 strikeouts and hit by a pitch in this ball game. The 1-2 pitch from Bosma. Swung and fouled back at the home plate netting to keep the count at 1-2. Bosma's looked good so far coming out of the bullpen. Went 1-2-3 in his first inning. In the top of the 7th, now in the top of the 8th, trying to do that once again as he fires in a ball that's high and inside to even up the count at 2-2. Two-two pitch, swung on and missed as Bosma gets him on strikes. Breaking ball, great looking pitch there from Tyler Bosma as he gets Ricotta to go down for his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. And that's going to bring up Will Baker for the Ball State Cardinals with 1 out. He's got a single, a sacrifice, bunt, ground out, and a fly out. First pitch is fouled back at the screen. He called for a strike. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here at the top of the 8th inning. Oh, 1 pitch, swinging, check swing there. Weak looking swing there from Will Baker, and that's going to bring the strike count to 2. 0-2. Tyler Bosma's looked good so far with 21 pitches. He's faced 4 batters and set all 4 of them down. Looking for another punch out here. And that one's going to be outside, trying to get him to chase. Called for a ball, 1-2 with 1 out. 2 strikeouts for Bosma already here. Struck out half the batters he has faced so far in this ball game. Trying to get another one. The pitch, breaking ball, and just misses the outside corner of the plate. They're going to call that for a ball. Home plate umpire didn't think it caught enough of the plate there, so it's going to be a 2-2 count with 1 out here. This one is slapped into right field. Should be no problem for the right fielder. And making the over-the-shoulder catch there for Miami is McKay Williams to get the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Mac Murphy for the Cardinals. He's got an RBI on a sacrifice. Fly out. He's got 2 other flyouts as well. 91 at-bats for Murphy. 27 hits. First pitch is low and away. For Matt Murphy, who steps in the left-handed batter's box. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled into the dugout of Ball State. One, even count. 1 ball, 2 strike, or 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bosma trying to get out of the inning. That one's high and tight. Called for a ball. 2-1 count. Mac Murphy batting .297 on the year with 16 RBIs, 1 homer, 10 runs. One of those RBIs came today. That one's fouled back. To even up the count at 2-2 with 2 outs. 5-0 lead here for Ball State over Miami. Left-handed pitcher Tyler Bosma on the mound for the Redhawks as he stepped in for Spencer Mraz after he went 6 innings. Breaking ball fools Mac Murphy there, and they're going to call a strike, and he's going to sit down as the 3rd strikeout comes for Tyler Bosma in his outing so far. 2 innings, 3 up, 3 down once again for Bosma. And the Redhawks head to the bottom of the 8th inning, trying to manufacture some runs as they still trail it 5-0 against the Ball State Cardinals. Listen to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your fun?
Do flowers have best friends?
I don't know. Hey, look.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. You're neutral to it, and you can hear it repeatedly without feeling anything. But when we introduce a new stimulus, save the food, we've achieved pulling a natural or inborn response from you. Save the food. Why are we doing this, you may ask? Save the food. Because this ad is trying to change the world's behavior through brainwashing. Because 40% of all food in the US never gets eaten. Save the food. And that costs a family of 4 $1,500 a year. Save the food. Cha-ching. It's worsening climate change through the release of methane gas. Save the food. Cha-ching. And it's wasting precious natural resources like our fresh water.
Kenny Schierlinger for Red Hawk Radio. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube Live. Here's the Redhawks find themselves still in a 5-0 hole here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Landon Stevens coming up to bat for the Redhawks, trying to manufacture something here as they've had scoring opportunities that has floundered them away. A couple innings ago, had the bases loaded with no outs and had a double play that got the lead runner that really kind of fizzled out the scoring opportunity. Stevens takes another ball. 2-0, no outs. Landon Stevens, the .281 hitter on the year, takes another ball to send the count to 3-0. John Baker still in the ball game for the Cardinals as he fires in another. Ooh, they're going to say that's a called strike as Landon Stevens took off for first base. That's going to take the count to 3-1. Baker with 109 pitches. Still out here in the 8th inning. Has surrendered 6 hits and no runs. Great outing for him. That one is called for a ball low in the dirt. as there's some action going on now down there in the Ball State bullpen as John Baker starts off the inning with a leadoff walk, and that's going to bring up Jordan Stevens. Jordan Stevens has 3 straight singles today, looking to get on base once again. Steps in the right-handed batter's box. Bat cocked over his right shoulder, and he takes a called strike for the first pitch from John Baker. Stevens from Colorado spent his early part of his college career in Dallas Baptist and Howard Community College down in Texas. The redshirt junior takes a ball high and tight to even up the count. He bounces around the infield at third base today. He'll play second, he'll play shortstop. Used to be an outfielder, as he pops that one up out of play into the Ball State dugout, or Ball State bullpen. Brings the count to 1-2. Stevens was pretty adamant about today and how they were going to show the Ball State Cardinals that they're the top contender in the Mid-American Conference. Haven't looked too good today, but they still have 2 more chances here at bat, and then another ball game 45 minutes after the conclusion of this one as he hits the ball there to even up the count at 2-2. Stevens is batting .330 on the year. 2 homers and 20 RBIs. He's 3 for 3 this afternoon with 3 singles. The 2-2 pitch. Stevens swings at that one, and it's batted out of play back at the screen behind home plate to stay alive. Fighting off John Baker, whose pitch count is at 114 now. Might be the last inning for him. He looked like he's lost a little velocity in the 8 innings pitched here. 2-2 pitch, called for a strike as Stevens was fooled on that one. He strikes out looking, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Cal Elvers, the junior catcher for Miami, coming up to bat. He struck out 2 times and reached on a walk. He steps into the right-handed batter's box, facing off with John Baker. He pops that one up to right field. Should be no problem for Messina, who makes the catch. That's going to be the second out of the inning for the Red Hawks. John Baker's trying to get through 8 here. If he can get the next batter, Cole Andrews, here quickly, maybe we'll see him out to get the complete game in the 9th inning, but his pitch count is getting up there, 121 pitches. I would have to guess that they will bring in the closer, but you never know. Cole Andrews takes the pitch. That's going to be called for a strike, 76-mile-an-hour slider. Gets Baker ahead in the count. Andrews batting .324 on the year with 3 homers, 23 RBIs. Miami with 6 hits today. Second pitch is down in the dirt. He called for a ball to even up the count at 2-2 with 2 outs. Reed Norberg stands on deck for the Red Hawks. He's 1 for 3. The 1-1 pitch from Baker. Just outside, called for a ball. 2-1 hitter's pitch coming here for Cole Andrews. Andrews from Powell, Ohio, Bishop Watterson High School. 6 foot 185. Right-handed freshman. Takes the 2-1 pitch and fouls that one back behind home plate to even up the count at 2-2. Staying alive here is Cole Andrews. The Red Hawks, if they want to try to claw themselves back in this ball game, they're going to have to get some runs quickly as they only have 4 more outs to work with. here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Trailing Ball State 5-0. John Baker with the pitch. That's outside. The fill up the count at 3-2. Wind kicking up a little bit here. The flag out in center field, blowing from left to right. 3-2 pitch is grounded to the third baseman, Baker, who fires it over to first base, and it's knocked out of the hands of Ricotta, and he's going to be called safe. Could have called interference there, but they don't, and he arrives at first base safely, and the runners now at first and second base for Miami as head coach for Ball State, Rich Mahoney, doesn't like that call. Having a few words with the home plate umpire, Matt Cunningham, about that play. The Red Hawks with 2 outs, trying to rally here and knock in some runs and dig themselves back into the out of the 5-0 hole that they've dug themselves in early in the ball game. They surrendered 5 runs in the first 3 innings. Since then, we've been scoreless. Spencer Mraz was the starter for Miami. He would qualify for the loss. 5 earned runs on 6 innings and 9 hits. Ball State with 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Miami with no runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Errors was the name of the game yesterday, with Miami manufacturing a couple of runs for Ball State off of the 2 errors in the top of the 7th inning. They scored 3 on 2 errors and 1 hit, and that was all she wrote as Miami tried to battle back in the 9th inning, and they almost did. They almost got there, had the tying run on third base and the winning run on first in the 9th inning, but left those 2 stranded and fell to Ball State, tallying Miami's 8th loss of the season. They're 14-1 on the road. That was their first home loss. Ball State 24-13, 8-3 in conference, in second place behind the Red Hawks. First pitch is swung on and missed there by Reed Norberg. About a half swing, very weak looking swing there as Baker fooled him. 0-1 count with 2 outs. Game 1 of this doubleheader today on Easter Sunday. John Baker comes to the plate. That's going to be called for another strike as the home crowd here does not like that call. A little bit low for their liking. 0-2, 2 outs. Runners on first and second for the Red Hawks. Reed Norberg at the plate, batting .338 on the season. He has a double, a flyout, and a strikeout so far. 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and that's going to be the end of the inning for the Red Hawks as they strand 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. We head to the top of the 9th here at McKee Field. The Red Hawks still trailing Ball State 5-0 here in Oxford. Goes to Miami Baseball and Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back. Miami trails Ball State 5-0 here in the top of the 9th inning. Coming to bat for the Cardinals is Chase Sebi as he swings at the first pitch and misses. Called strike from Tyler Bosma. He's at 31 pitches, 3 strikeouts. He's retired his first 6 batters he's faced. He took over for Spencer Mraz in the 7th inning. He's coming off 2 1-2-3 innings. He's looked very good so far for the Redhawks and has kept the lead only at 5 here. Another strike and then a ball in the dirt there to put the count at 1-2 with no outs. Chase Sebi with 1 hit so far this afternoon. He was hit by a pitch as well. He had a triple early in this ball game. That one's bounced to the plate to even up the count at 2-2. So we're going to get a new ball in play here from home plate umpire Matt Cunningham. That one looked like it slipped a little bit there from Tyler Bosma. Bosma standing at 6'6", 195 on the mound. Fires in the 2-2 pitch, and that one's going to be called for a ball low and outside. Full count now, no outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Ball State leading it 5-0. It's the Miami Baseball and Red Hawk Radio. Game 1 of the 2-game doubleheader today on Easter Sunday. 3-2 pitch from Bosma is outside, and he walks the leadoff batter here for Bosma. The first batter to reach against Bosma this afternoon, and that's going to bring up Noah Powell. He's got 1 RBI on a sacrifice fly this afternoon. He's hit by a pitch as well by Spencer Mraz. Bosma goes to first base to check Sebi. Nothing doing there. Noah Powell steps into the right-handed batter's box, crowds the plate. Goes the inside line of the batter's box. And he'll take the first pitch here. He squares for bunt, and that one's taken for a ball. Trying to move over the runner is Noah Powell. Number 8 hitter, and Tim Blankensberger on deck for the the Cardinals, the DH. Shows bunt again. This one's popped up and out of the reach of first baseman Reed Norberg, unable to get to that one. Even up the count at 1-1 with no outs. Runner on first base. Leadoff walk for Tyler Bosma. Puts Chase Sebi at first. There's Noah Powell trying to move him over with a bunt. Shows bunt again, and then Bosma goes to first base. He knows exactly what the Cardinals are trying to do, trying to keep that lead as minimal as possible. Very modest lead there from Sebi on first base. Laid down the first base line and rolls foul. He'll be called for the second strike of the at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs here at a sunny Sunday afternoon here in Oxford. Great crowd on hand. It's filled up nicely. I think some fans kind of planned on catching the the second half of this game, and then catching the whole second game with the doubleheader. And why not? It's great sunny afternoon, the weather that we've been looking for all weekend here in Oxford. The 1-2 pitch is actually not going to go to the plate. It goes to first base again. As Bosma is kind of preoccupied with Chase Sebi over there at first. Bosma with 37 pitches so far with 3 strikeouts and 1 base on balls. Laid down bunt back to Bosma. He's just going to go to first. He flips it over there for the out. Gets the Garrettine out. And Ball State gets what they want. They move the runner over, and Sebi as he stands over there on second base. It's going to bring up Noah Powell. Or it's going to bring up Tim Blankensberger. Rather, the 9th hitter in the order, DH. Weird spot in the order that you don't usually see the DH batting 9th in the order, but the freshman. And actually, we're going to get a pinch hitter here as Griffin Halucky is going to step into the batter's box. He's batting .273 on the year with no home runs, 6 RBIs, with a runner in scoring position here in the top of the 9th inning. Let's get a timeout here as a mound visit for Cal Alvers, and Bosma want to talk over the strategy here. Griffin Halecki, the catcher and outfielder from Fishers, Indiana, the redshirt senior. Facing off with the freshman, Tyler Bosma. First pitch is low and in the dirt. Halecki from just north of Indianapolis, Fishers High School. Gary Harris of the Denver Nuggets, the shooting guard, also comes from Fishers, Indiana. As that one's popped up into left field, giving chase is left fielder Winkler, and he catches that down the third base line to tally the second out of the inning. No harm, no foul there, and that's going to bring us to the top of the batting order for Ball State and Aaron Simpson, the junior from Orange, California, batting .361 on the season. 3 homers, 34 RBIs. He's got 1 RBI already this ball game, 1 triple, and 2 strikeouts. Also has a ground out as well. He's got 52 hits on 144 at-bats in the season with 33 strikeouts. He sets up in the right-handed batter's box, toeing the line a little bit forward in his stance as we got a timeout called at the plate. First pitch from Bosma, coming here with 2 outs, runner on second base. Breaking ball that misses the inside corner of the plate, called for a ball. Bosma trying to make sure another run doesn't cross the plate for Ball State here, as Miami will have their work cut out for them in the 9th inning, trying to come back from a 5-0 deficit. The 1-0 pitch, low and in the dirt inside, called for a ball. As Bosma shakes off his arm a little bit here, trying to get the last out of the inning. Chase Sebi over there on second base, who reached on a leadoff walk. The only batter that Tyler Bosma hasn't surrendered this afternoon, or as the only batter that Tyler Bosma has put on base this afternoon. And his two and a half innings of work as he fires in a strike there to bring the count to 2-1 with 2 outs. Two-one pitch. Inside and low. Called for a third ball. 3-1 now. Top of the order, and Aaron Simpson at bat. Noah Navarra, who's 2 for 4 in the afternoon. Standing on deck, the second baseman, then Ross Messina. If those guys reach as well, standing in the hole with he's 2 for 4. 3-1. The pitch, strike there. Fired in there, 88 miles an hour on the gun. Much needed pitch there for Bosma to even up, or to fill the count up. 3-2 with 2 outs. Sebi over there on second base will be going on the pitch. Bosma with a 3-2 pitch. He comes home, fired up the middle. Bosma almost gloves it backhand. This one's going to score 1. It's cut off by Reed Norberg. And it's going to be a RBI 2-out single for Aaron Simpson that scores the 6th run for Ball State here in the 9th inning, the top of the 9th inning. As Ball State gets their first run since they scored 1 in the 3rd inning. One more insurance run coming. So that's going to bring up the second baseman, Noah Navarra, who's 2 for 4 in the afternoon, batting .310. He's got 1 RBI. Bosma goes to first base to check Aaron Simpson. Simpson's 13 for 18 in stolen bases this year, so showing some speed. He's got the most stolen bases on the Ball State squad, as the first pitch is called for a ball there from Bosma. A little bit too high. One-0 pitch. High once again, called for a ball, 2-0. Going to get a timeout as pitching coach Matthew Passor is going to visit with Tyler Bosma, try to calm down the freshman here. All the infield on the mound with the mound visit. .241 here in Oxford, Ohio, approaching the 3 o'clock hour. Game 1 of the doubleheader here on Easter Sunday from McKee Field in Hayden Park. Game 2 will probably start around, I would say, 3:45, depending on how this last inning goes. Or no, it'll probably start around maybe 4. Bosma goes to home, or goes to first base. He comes home, and that's going to be called another ball. 3-0 with 2 outs. Bosma's had a little bit more of a shaky inning here in the top of the 9th. His pitch count is at 49. And that one's called for a strike as he fires that one in there. They get the much-needed strike. 3-1, 2 outs. Runner on first base, Aaron Simpson. Probably will not be sending him here with 2 outs, as that one's popped up, and it's going to fill up the count. Popped up out of play. Foul over the dugout of Ball State. So here we go, 3-2 count. 2 outs. Runner on first. Top of the 9th inning. Ball State leading at 6-0 now. That one swung on and fouled back out of play into the parking lot. Noah Navarro with the RBI double. 1 run. Ground out and a fly out. He was also caught stealing by Cal Elvers, as that one is fouled back once again. This one fouled right back behind home plate. Hits the backstop, and that's going to keep the count at 3-2. Long at bat here for Noah Navarro, facing off with Tyler Bosma. Bosma's pitch count now over 50. 3-2 pitch is fouled back once again. This is quite a battle between the pitcher and batter here. Navarro, the right-handed infielder from Avon, Indiana. Avon High School, steps back into the batter's box, and he faces the 3-2 pitch. Fouled back again here, as we do have quite a battle going on. 4 straight fouled back there by Navarro. He's batting .310 on the year with 3 homers, 26 RBIs, 1 RBI today, adding to his total. On deck, Ross Messina if needed, and that one's fouled back into the ground. That makes its way over to the Ball State dugout. Lots of action over there in the Ball State dugout. I don't think that John Baker will be back out in the 9th inning. We'll see who will come in for Ball State if that's the case. So here we go, 3-2 count. 2 outs. The pitch swung on, and they say he went, and that's going to be a strikeout and throw out as that ball was in the dirt. They pitch it down the first base, and that's the end of the inning here. Miami surrenders 1 more run, and they head to the bottom of the 9th inning, down 6-0 here at McKee Park, trailing Ball State in Game 1 of this doubleheader here on Sunday. Listen to Red Hawk Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Kenny Schierlinger for Red Hawk Radio, back with you here for the start of this bottom of the 9th inning as the Red Hawks are down to their last opportunity to get back in this ball game. They trail Ball State 6-0 here in a one-sided contest of this Game 1 doubleheader. This is the second game of the series. Ball State won the first one 3-2 in a Friday game that had an overnight rain delay that was finished yesterday. And now entering the game at pitcher for Ball State is going to be Nick Floyd, who actually started the top of the 6th inning yesterday in the rain delay ball game as he goes to the plate for the first time against Colin Shepard, the pinch hitter for Miami. And that's called for a strike. Nick Floyd, the right-handed 6'2", 210 pitcher from Elkhart, Indiana, fires that one in there. It's grounded to the third baseman, Baker, who fires it over there to Ricotta, and that's going to be the first out of the inning by Colin Shepard. And Nick Floyd gets the first outs and his first batter. Pitch count at 2. And he will face McKay Williams, the last batter in the order for the Red Hawks. On deck at the top of the order is Kyle Winkler, the junior left fielder. And it will be Will Vogelsang if they can get to him. First pitch from Floyd is fouled back at the netting behind home plates by McKay Williams, the senior. 0-1 count now with 1 out. Nick Floyd coming to close this one out. He's got 33 innings pitched, 2.43 ERA. Second pitch is fired in there for a strike to McKay Williams. He faces an 0-2 count with 1 out here. Infield normal depth. Oh-2 pitch. High and away. That's called for a ball. Bring the count to 1-2. One pitch or 1-2 pitch. Grounded, fielded there by the second baseman Navarro, and he eats up that one, and he looks like he's shaken up. As McKay Williams is going to reach there. See if they give him an error or not. Looks like he's holding his hand. They're just going to call that a hit. Or, nope, we'll see what they get here with the official scores. Get a timeout on the field as they're going to call that a base hit. It's the 7th hit for Miami. As the medical training staff tend to Navarro over there at second base. Nice play for him to get to it and keep it from getting into the outfield, but had to eat that one up. And unfortunately, is going to have to come out of this ball game here for Ball State. As he walks off under his own power. It looked like he maybe tweaked his arm. And we're going to get a substitute for him over at second base. It's going to be Justin Conant. The freshman right-handed infielder. So he's going to come in at second base, and that's going to bring up Kyle Winkler in the top of the order here for the Red Hawks, the left fielder for Miami. He's got 1 hit, 1 strikeout. He's 1 for 4 this afternoon. Batting .324. Nick Floyd's first pitch is low and inside. Winkler watches that one for a ball. 1-0, 1 out. Spectators here at McKee Field, the Miami spectators, a little restless here. They want to see some runs. 1-0 pitch is grounded to the third baseman, Baker. He turns 2, and Winkler's going to beat out the throw there at first base, but they get the lead runner and McKay Williams at second base that bring up Will Vogelsang with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Miami down to their last outs in this ball game. With a runner on first base, Vogelsang is 0 for 4 this afternoon. 2 ground outs, 1 strikeout, 1 fly out. First pitch is low and inside for Vogelsang as he watches that one go for a ball. The 1-0 pitch going there is Winkler, and no throw down the second as they just surrender that stolen base. Winkler steals his 13th bag of the year. He's 13 of 13 now. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss there as Vogelsang is fooled on the slider. Nick Floyd trying to close out this ball game with Ball State leading it 6-0 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. This is game 1 of the doubleheader here at McKee Field at Hayden Park. Second game will start 45 minutes after this inning here. As that one is fired in there for a strike, 2-2. Miami down to the last out and the last strike of the ball game. It's up to Will Vogelsang to extend this 9th inning. Miami's really going to have a 2-out rally to get back into this one, down 6-0. Nick Floyd, 2-2 pitch, swung on, grounded back to Floyd, but it's went off of Vogelsang, so it's going to be called foul. So he stays alive. He's shaking up there. That probably didn't feel very good. Went off his ankle, it looks like. Vogelsang from Cincinnati, Ohio, Archbishop Moeller High School. Faces a 2-2 pitch with 2 outs, runner on second base. That one's laced into left field, and this looks like it's going to score one. Winkler turns around the corner and cruises in the home, and the Redhawks get on the board for the first time this afternoon here in the 9th inning. Base hit there, RBI single for Will Vogelsang, and that's going to bring up Landon Stevens. So the shutout is no more here for the Ball State Cardinals as Nick Floyd gives up a run here in the 9th inning. Miami with a little bit of hope scoring the run there. Landon Stevens coming up the bat for the Redhawks. He is 1 for 4 this afternoon with a double. First pitch is called for a ball, and Sebi goes down the first base and almost gets Vogelsang out there to end the ball game. Just couldn't apply the tag. The throw was on time there, though. One 1-0 pitch coming from Nick Floyd here. That one's laced into left field as Landon Stevens gets a base knock. Turning around second and cruising in the third is going to be Will Vogelsang. And the runners will be on the corners here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And that's going to bring up Jordan Stevens, who's been red hot at the plate this afternoon. He's got 3 hits. Back on track after snapping his 13-game hitting streak. So this is the guy you want at bat with the runners on the corners. Here in the bottom of the 9th inning. You're down 5 runs. Lots of work to do, but the Redhawks keep on scoring here as Landon Stephen cruises into second base. No contest there from Sebi. They just let them steal that. So the runners now at second and third base. A single most likely will score 2 and cut the lead into half. 0-1 pitch, swung on and fouled back at the Miami dugout and on deck circle. That's going to bring the count to 0-2 with 2 outs for Jordan Stevens. Stevens with 2 homers on the year. It would be huge if he could get his third. 0-2 pitch. He waits on that one, and it's going to be in the dirt. Called for a ball. 1-2 now with 2 outs. Redshirt senior has played in 28 games, started 26. This is his 26th start of the year. And 101 at-bats. He has 33 hits. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed as Stevens strikes out and ends the ball game here at McKee Field as the Redhawks go down to Ball State Cardinals here in Game 1 of this doubleheader, 6-1. So that's going to conclude the first game here, and we'll have the second game here on Red Hawk Radio. Kenny Schierlinger, thank you for joining us for the first game as the Redhawks fall 6-1. Ball State scores 6 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. Miami scores 1 run on 9 hits and no errors. Losing pitcher is going to be Spencer Mraz. Winning pitcher is going to go to John Baker as Nick Floyd gets the save for Ball State. So thank you for tuning in for this first game. We'll be back with you in about 45 minutes for Game 2 of this series, or Game 3 of this series, Game 2 of the day on this Easter Sunday. Thank you for tuning in for Red Hawk Radio. For Kenny Schierlinger, we'll see you in a couple minutes here.